because not only was it a wonderful idea, but I know that it took a lot of work to do this in a timely fashion, and I think we're all the better for it. So thank you very much, Kelly, for your leadership and for your rollout of the bed inspirations. To Brittany and to Severin. You know, when I think about, well, what is it that youth can do at these meetings? Because my good friends, the youth, always say, well, you know, we can't go in there, we can't negotiate. When it comes to the real thing, the doors close, and nobody listens. What can we do? And so I think there are two things that Severin did very beautifully 20 years ago, and that Brittany is doing in a fantastic way this time. Two things. One, youth, through the voices of these two wonderful ladies, can remind governments of their global responsibility that goes way beyond their national interests. Number one. And secondly, youth can bring the future into the present, because that is the frame of reference in which decisions need to be made. If we're making decisions into using the frame of reference of the present, then we're making decisions for the past. We have to bring the future into the present and make decisions with that frame of reference. And I think both Severin and Brittany are doing a fantastic job, as Severin at her time and Brittany now. And thank you very much for that. But I have bad news for you. That is not the end of what youth can do. If that is an important role, but if that were all that you could do, we would be in sad shape. And I am, by definition, insatiable when it comes to acting on climate change. So here's my challenge to youth. Goes way beyond inspiring and way beyond calling others to take up their leadership and their responsibility. My challenge to youth, to Brittany, and to all of you who follow her, is to ensure that your generation does not, by default, fall into the very bad habits of my generation. Because if you don't make intentional choices to change the way you behave, you will, by default, fall into our bad habits. You know the saying, mirror, mirror on the wall, I am my mother after all? Well, I hope that's not true for you. Because you have to be remarkably different. And I would say you have to be different in two very specific ways. First, please understand that you are not only current, but you are future consumers. The choices that you make as consumers will determine what is going to be the norm in this planet. So please be careful about what you choose, the gadgets that you choose, the products that you buy. You have no idea the power that you can exercise on the market to send the signal to the market that you're not going to put up with high carbon products. You need to declare your intolerance of high carbon products, and you need to create a force of low carbon products. Secondly, I know that you're not sitting at the negotiating table yet, because many of you soon will, and I can't wait for that moment when you do sit at the negotiating table. But, as Brittany has already mentioned, you are sitting on probably an even more powerful tool than the negotiating table, and that is the power of the communication of social media. You are the generation that created that. You are the generation that masters that. Look what has happened since, what day in February did you invent this idea? Early February to now. Look what has happened with the power of social media. Look what has happened in the Arab states with social media. Look what it can do. And I ask you once and again, and you know, my young friends are probably bored of me asking the question, but I still don't have an answer. Why are you not using social media to create a total youth revolution here? That's what I would like to know. Honestly, that is your responsibility. Until you get to the negotiating table, that is your responsibility. So my dear young friends, I congratulate you for inspiring us all, but I also challenge you to use your inspiration, but also to use the power of the market that you represent, and above all, the power of communication tools to change this world for the better. Thanks.